tutorial, you're going to need a 4 to 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, as well as a skein of weight 4 yarn. And for this design, for the scrappy headband, you're going to want to make a skein of yarn using all of your scrap yarn. So I did just post a tutorial on how to turn your scrap yarn into a skein like this so you can just crochet with. So I will link that tutorial in the description down below, so go ahead and watch that first. Make yourself a skein of yarn and then come back to this video to actually make the headband. And one thing to note before you go watch that video is when you're making your skein of yarn, you're going to want to make a lot of color changes. So with a small project like a headband, you aren't going to need a lot of yarn to make one headband. So in order to get that really scrappy, fun look, you want to be changing colors quite rapidly. So as you're making the headband, you still have a lot of color changes. So I'm changing colors every couple inches to every foot or sometimes 2 feet, but you'll see here I'm changing colors very quickly. So when you're making your skein of yarn for this project, you want to change colors pretty quickly so that way you end up with a really nice scrappy headband. Here you can see a difference between a headband with less color changes, we only have 3 colors and is not very scrappy or colorful, versus one with a skein of yarn I made next with a ton of color changes because I cut my yarn and switched colors every couple inches to every foot or so. So I do highly recommend making yourself a very scrappy, very colorful skein of yarn like this for this design. So once you have done that and you have turned your scrap yarn into a very colorful skein of yarn, we can go ahead and begin making the headband. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to start by creating a slip knot to cast on, like so. So I am making a thinner headband for summertime, more of an accessory than an actual useful headband, such as a winter headband that would cover your ears, but you can definitely make this as wide as you want. But for the course of making a fun, colorful summer headband, we are going to go ahead and chain 5. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to chain 2 more to act as our turning chain. And as you're working with this yarn, you will sometimes run into these little knots where we attached our colors. You're just going to pretend like those knots don't exist and just work right around them and work them right into the project. So there's 1 and 2 extra chains, and you'll see that little knot is just worked right into the project, and I'm just going to ignore it as I crochet. So now I'm going to go past those 2 chains I just made and find the 3rd chain, or what is our 5th chain, depending on which way you're counting. I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into that 5th or 3rd chain, pick up some yarn and pull it through. So I have 3 loops on my hook, and then I'm going to complete a half double crochet by picking up some yarn and pulling it through all 3 loops on my hook, like so. And I'm going to repeat that for the rest of the row, completing 5 half double crochets. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into the next chain stitch, pick up some yarn, pick up some more yarn, and pull it through all 3 loops. I'm going to go ahead and do this into each of these chain stitches until I reach the end of the row, and I should have 5 half double crochets. And now at the end of the row, I'm going to go ahead and chain 2 and turn my work. And now for the rest of the rows of this headband, we want to complete what is called an elastic stitch or a back loop only stitch, which is going to give us that elasticated feel that will make the headband fit snugly around our head and more comfortable. So I'm going to start by yarning over as if I'm going to just do a normal half double crochet, but instead of inserting my hook into the entire first stitch here, I'm going to tip my work so I can see the top of the stitches. And on the top of the stitches, I can see that each stitch is made up of 2 strands of yarn. There's a front strand or loop and a back strand or loop. So what I'm going to do is with that yarn still wrapped around my hook, I still yarned over, I'm going to insert my hook in between those 2 strands and pick up just the back loop or the back strand of that stitch and complete my half double crochet. And that's what's called half double crochet in the back loop only, or completing an elasticated stitch. And again, I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to tip my work, so I'm looking at the 2 strands that make up 1 stitch. And here in this next stitch, I'm going to insert my hook in between those 2 strands, picking up just the back loop and completing that half double crochet in the back loop only. I'm going to do this for the remaining stitches here on this row until I've completed all 5 half double crochets in the back loop only. And again, when I reach a knot like this, I just act like it doesn't exist and I just crochet it right into my project. So after completing all 5 of those half double crochets, I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work. And now from here on out, we're going to only do these half double crochets in the back loop only. We're only doing the elasticated stitch. So again, I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to tip my work so I can see the top of my stitches. I'm going to insert my hook in between those two strands of yarn, picking up just the back loop and placing that half double crochet like so. And that's how I'm going to be doing every single row from here on out. I'm only going to be working into the back loop only. So I'm going to complete this row here with 5 half double crochets in the back loop only, like so. And now you can see that each row sits at a little bit of a different height. So if I hold it this way, you can see that this first row versus the next row sits a little bit lower, and then the same thing on this side. So what this is doing is creating sort of a zigzag effect that's going to give it a much more stretchy, elasticated feel. And I'm going to go ahead and chain 2, turn my work, and again, working into just the back loop only, I'm going to place these half double crochets. And now that's all there is to it for the base of the headband. So what you're going to do now is just keep on working, placing half double crochets into the back loop only, and just completing these rows until the entire headband is long enough that it fits comfortably around the circumference of your head. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to build this up with a bunch more rows until it's a comfortable fit, and then I'll come back to show you how to complete the headband and add a nice little border around the edge. I did almost 40 half double crochet rows to get to this point. We now have a very fun scrappy strip of fabric, and if I were to wrap it just right around the circumference of my head like a normal headband, it reaches right around comfortably and a little bit on the snug side, which is perfect because not only does crochet stretch a little bit, but you also want to have a nice snug fit so that it'll stay on, but not so tight that it's going to give you a headache. I have a pretty sensitive head, and when I wear headbands, I immediately take them off after like 30 minutes. I have found that these crochet ones don't hurt my head at all, especially if I make sure that they are a nice comfortable snugness and not too tight. So this is about 40 rows. I think it was like 38 to be exact. And now let's go ahead and actually turn it into a full headband. So when we look at our headband here, you will see that along the edges it is kind of bumpy and a little bit uneven. It just looks unprofessional and a little too messy. We want this to be a messy, scrappy headband, but we don't want it to look that messy. So we're going to go ahead and add a border along the headband to help clean up these edges. So at this point, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and cast off and then cast back on with a more neutral color. If you wanted to kind of tone down the scrappiness, you could cast on with a brown or a white or a cream and give it a nice brown or white border, so that way the scrappiness is only in the center of the headband. But I want to go all out and just have a super scrappy headband, so we're also going to continue working with the exact same yarn. So if you were trying to switch colors, you would just cast off here and then cast back on the same corner. Because I'm not switching colors, instead I'm just going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn my work. So instead of working into this next part of the row, I'm just kind of rotating my work, so I'm now working down along the edge of the headband. And now instead of working into a normal stitch, I'm actually just going to work right behind the post of that stitch and place a single crochet. So I'm not yarning over, I'm inserting my hook right into sort of the post of that stitch, picking up some yarn and pulling it through. So I have 2 loops on my hook, pick up some yarn and pull it through those 2 loops to single crochet. And now again here, I'm going to go right into this section and single crochet. There's really no rhyme or reason on where to place your hook. You just kind of want to find sort of the horizontal post here, insert your hook behind it, and place that single crochet. And again, I'm going to kind of find the edge of that stitch and single crochet, and I'm not overly particular about it. I just am placing sort of 1 to 2 single crochets per each row of half double crochet, like so. Just working my way all the way down, finding sort of the sides of these stitches and placing my hook behind them to then place a single crochet like so. And honestly, with a design like this, if you're not sure where you're placing your hook, that's okay. You can genuinely just kind of wing it. You just don't want to overdo it, because if you place too many single crochets behind each stitch, it'll start to get kind of lumpy. So just try to only place 1 to 2 single crochets per row of half double crochet. But all I'm going to do now is just continue single crocheting, and I'm going to go all the way down this side until I reach the bottom here, this bottom corner, and then I'll show you what to do next. Now that I've single crocheted all the way down this one side, you can see it looks a lot cleaner. and I've reached the very bottom stitch here. So now we're going to go ahead and work our way around to the other side. So what I'm going to do to help me kind of get around this corner is I'm going to insert my hook back into the exact same stitch I just worked into. So it would be that bottom corner stitch, and place a second single crochet like so. And that just helps to bring my hook around to this side, where I'm now going to just single crochet along this side here where we have our starting chain. So I'm going to insert my hook into each one of these sort of chain stitches and simply place a single crochet. So there should be about 5 of these stitches in total. And now once I reach this next corner stitch here, I'm going to again insert my hook into that exact same stitch and place a second single crochet, which helps to round myself out, so I'm now on the other side here. So I'm going to pull my little headband, so now I'm facing the other side of the headband, the side that still has a raw edge that we haven't single crocheted. And now we're going to repeat this exact same thing. So I'm going to insert my hook sort of behind the post of that next row of half double crochet and place a single crochet. And I'm going to do that all the way up this side of the headband as well, just single crocheting along this rough or raw edge to help clean it up a little bit. So I'm going all the way from this corner up until I reach this corner, and then once I'm done with that, we can actually assemble the headband into a circle that is wearable. I'm now placing my last single crochet into that last corner stitch there, so you can see we have another row here of single crochets going all the way across. And this is where I mentioned you could have done these rows in a nice neutral color like white or brown or tan, but I think it's kind of fun to have the entire thing super scrappy like this. So now let's go ahead and complete the headband. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other end of the headband here, and I'm going to bring it up so that it reaches the row of the headband I'm currently on, like so. So just making a cylinder, making sure there's no twists in the material, it's just a nice flat cylinder. And now all I'm going to do is pinching these two ends together, I'm going to chain 1, and now we're going to slip stitch these two sides together. So I'm going to look at the first sort of bit of fabric, which would be our first row of the headband, and I'm going to insert my hook right into that corner stitch there. And now I'm going to insert my hook into the corner stitch on this side of the headband. So I'm lining up the stitches and inserting my hook into the exact same stitch on both sides. I'm then going to pick up some yarn, pull it through every single stitch and loop on my hook. So I'm going to pull it through both of those stitches as well as that remaining loop on my hook, like so. And then I'm going to do that with the second stitch. I'm going to insert my hook into this second stitch here and then find the second stitch on the other part of the headband. So my hook is inserted through the second stitch for both the front and the back of the headband, or the start and the end of the headband. I'm then going to pick up some yarn, pull it through both stitches and through the loop on my hook, completing a slip stitch. So this is basically a way of sewing the headband together. We're just doing it with slip stitches instead of actually sewing it, just because it goes a lot faster and I find it to be a lot easier. So I'm just going to keep going down, lining up all the stitches as I go. And also when you slip stitch, you want to make sure that you aren't holding your yarn or your tension too tight, because if the tension of the slip stitches are too tight, it's going to pull all of this together and bunch it up and make it too ripply. So try to hold your yarn a little bit looser and keep the tension a little bit on the looser side. So I'm going to go all the way down here, lining up the stitches and slip stitching both sides together, like so. In this last corner, make sure it's all lined up. I'm going to complete one last slip stitch, like so. And now here I can go ahead and cast off. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to cut my yarn, leaving a little bit of a tail behind, and just cut my yarn. And then I'm going to grab my hook and pull that yarn right through that chain 1. I have to get this knot to go through, hang on. There we go. And then give it a little tug to lock it in place. So this here is the inside of the headband where we have this sort of bubble of material, and this would also go at the back of your head. But if you flip it right side out, it's a lot more seamless. That's the outside, this is the inside, and this would be the back of your head here. So let's go ahead and do our final step, which is to weave in the loose ends of our headband. So everyone has a different way to weave in loose ends, and I'm just going to show you my preferred way, but if you already know how you like to weave in loose ends, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my loose ends here. There should only be 2, unless you change color for the edge, then there will be 4. I'm going to go ahead and pick up that loose end, pull it right through my darning needle, and now we can go ahead and begin weaving this in. So to weave in a loose end, I'm just going to tuck this yarn or my needle in between some of these stitches. It doesn't really matter which stitches you are going into or what direction you're going. The most important thing is when the needle is in the stitches, you shouldn't be able to see it on the front of the project. You should be inside of the stitch, not behind the stitch. So I kind of go in between the stitch. And now I'm going to pull that yarn through. And now the other most important thing to make sure your project won't come apart is to backtrack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this first little bit of yarn, so that way this yarn has something to anchor on. And I'm going to slide right back through all those same stitches I came from and pull. And because I skipped that first stitch, this bit of yarn will anchor on that first stitch and it won't pull my previous stitch apart. And it'll just help to anchor that yarn in place. And the more you go back and forth, the more secure it'll be. So I had to go back and forth about 2 or 3 times before I then switch directions. And now this time I'm going to go this way. And I don't really have any rhyme or reason of the directions I go in. You just want to make sure that your yarn isn't being seen on the other side. And also if you go back and forth too many times, you'll start to sort of bulge up the stitches and you don't want it to be chunky or to be able to tell that there's a bunch of yarn. So I only go back and forth like 2 to 3 times. And I'm going to go back and forth. And I try to go in like 3 different directions. Just really make sure it's good and secure, especially if it's a project like a headband that's going to get tugged on and used and washed a lot. You want to make sure it is really secure. Okay, so I now feel like my loose end is good and secure. So now I'm going to take it and cut it as close to the project as I possibly can without cutting the project itself. And then I'm going to do that with my other loose end. And just like before, once I feel like this loose end is securely placed inside of my project, I'm going to cut the rest of that loose end as close to the project as I can without cutting the project itself. And now I'm going to flip it right side out. And here is our completed little scrap yarn headband that you can now go ahead and wear and enjoy with all of your fun summer outfits.